Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. Thank you so much for being here this evening. We have a panel prepared for you today. Three people coming on to tell you what they feel about today's subject, about what you are doing for your clients. So before we get to that, I wanted to share a few things with you. For one is, my name is Jim Landers, and my mission is simple. I help portrait photographers just like you make a great income doing what they love. Each week, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. And normally at this time, I would bring Amanda from Digital Pro Lab on to visit with me for a little while, but she's feeling a little bit under the weather and will be back next week. So those of you who pray, say a little prayer for her so that she can feel better soon. All right, so as a I want to ask those of you who are watching to do me a favor so that I know who's watching live and who's watching later on the replay. So if you're watching right now, do me a favor and enter in hashtag live. Hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, then it's hashtag replay. And I want to encourage you to leave a comment. And you can see down at the bottom of the screen right now, I want to encourage you guys to leave comments and questions. We've got questions lined up, but you may have a good one that I just have to include. So ask it in the comment section. So comments or questions are welcomed. I also, of course, encourage the likes and loves. Whenever one of the panelists says something you like or something you love, let them know by clicking the like button or the love button. Anything that I say that you like, hit that like button, hit that love button. Let us know. We like that interaction. It's beneficial. Also, if you are watching right now and you know someone who could benefit from this, tag them in a post. That way they become aware of this and can join in too. So I encourage you to do that. I can see that some of you are here already. Oh, good job. All right, so I'm looking at the comments already, and those of you who are watching, just enter in hashtag live, so I know you're watching live. I can see that 12 of you have registered and 2 have hit hashtag live. So do me a favor, hit hashtag live, so I know that you're watching. Let's see, turn that one off. I want to let you know that I take a photographer to lunch with me every single Tuesday. And so I want you to take note of this URL here down at the bottom, because that's a link to my calendar. When you go to that, you go straight to my calendar so that you can choose the Tuesday, because it's every Tuesday. You can choose the Tuesday that you want to have lunch with me. And then I also have the business assessment consultation. This also is a link to my calendar, and this is free. Both these things are free. This show is free, so I guess everything's free. Not everything, but everything today is free. So enter in that URL that you see right there on the bottom of the screen, and that takes you to my calendar. And this can be done anytime that's available on my calendar, to talk about your business, to talk about your price list, to talk about your marketing strategy, to talk about what's working or what's not. But take advantage of this, because this is for you. This is a service that Landers Photography School provides to those who are watching the show. So take advantage of that. All right. Let's see. What else I'm looking to see what else I needed to introduce beforehand. And it looks like that's everything. All right, so let's talk about our topic for today. Being a small business owner comes with a lot of responsibility. Not only do you have to be concerned with the products and services you're offering, but you also must build relationships with your clients and make sure that they feel appreciated. Just like all other aspects of being in business, making your clients feel appreciated is a good amount of effort, but it's one we creatives enjoy. It's a good thing because it's essential for the success of your business. So I've asked 3 of your fellow photographers to be panelists on the Portrait Profit Show this evening, to share what they do to make their clients feel special. So I want to bring on our 3 panelists right now, bring all 3 of them on. So, and move that so you can see their names. There we go. So we have Violet Trujillo. We have
Hey, everyone.
Crystal Victor.
Hi.
And we have Andres Aranda. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing
Doing
awesome.
good.
Yeah,
Doing awesome
good.
considering.
Well, we are grateful that you're here with us today to share what it is that you do to make your clients feel special. Now, there's a lot of ways, of course, that you do that. And we're going to ask a series of questions, and you guys get an opportunity to share your thoughts on those questions, and give us a little bit of insight on your beliefs and your philosophies. And so before I get into those questions, I'm going to take you guys off and bring you back on one at a time to tell us a little bit about who you are. So thanks for being panelists on the Portrait Profit Show, and we'll get right to it. So let's start off with Violet. Oh, I think you're muted, Violet.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Perfect. You
Hi,
got it.
I'm Violet. I'm 28 years old. I'm the owner of Violet Photography. I specialize in editorial, artistic, and creative portraits. I've been doing this for 7 years or so. Thank you for having me, Jim.
Of course. Violet has taken some classes with me, so
Yeah.
that's how I know her.
Yeah.
And we both served on the board of Elevate exhibition.
Yep.
So we've known each other for a good amount of time, and I appreciate you being here today to share your thoughts.
I appreciate you for inviting me. Thank you
course.
again.
All right, so let's take Violet off and bring on Crystal. Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
What can you tell us about yourself?
Let's see. I am a portrait photographer. I specialize in maternity, newborns, children, and families mostly. I've been a photographer for about 6.5 years now. And I have a studio in Spring Branch.
Very cool, and it's one I need to go see at some point.
Yes.
Crystal and I have worked together for a while too, and so I know about her business and what she does, and am excited about what she does and what I feel she can bring to the table today. So thank you, Crystal, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right, so let's bring on Andres. How's it going, Andres?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. What can you tell us
Can you hear
about
me
you?
okay? I
Yes.
put the earbuds on. Okay.
Oh,
So I got my real estate license in '05, and the market crashed '08, '09. I decided to go back to school and get my degree in graphic design. I pursued that for a little bit, and then 9 years ago this year, I started my photography business, and I've been doing it full time now 9 years.
9 years.
Yes, sir.
Nice. So I've known Andres for a number of years. He mentioned it earlier. I've known Andres for a while, and in fact, we just had lunch last week, about a week ago. So we've been connecting here a lot more recently, and we have for years. He's stopped by my office a handful of times, and it was always good to see him. So, Andres, I'm going to start off the first question with you.
Okay.
Let's bring up that question. 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 Let's see. Here we go. I want you to tell us about your marketing philosophy. Is there something that you do that you feel is different from others who are trying to get new clients?
I think the biggest thing for me when I am trying to acquire new business, I mean, I do have Google, and I'm on Google, with when people do searches. I know that a lot of businesses and photographers will tell you that you should only have one website. I actually have more than one website, and I understand that that kind of can mess with SEO. But for me, it works because it kind of attracts different buyers at different times, different customers, and I feel like a fisherman in a sense, in that I don't have just one rod in a pond. I feel like I have multiple avenues for reaching different customers, and like I said, it's worked for me for a little while, and so that is one big key thing that I do as far as having to market and put myself out there for customers. But the other thing that I feel, it doesn't matter where I go, whether I'm at HEB or Walmart, or if I go sit down and have dinner. One of the key things that helps me interact with people, I just have the personality to go out there and reach people and touch people and talk to them in person without really, without it having be an uncomfortable thing for me. I just have this natural way of connecting. So normally, if I see a mom or a dad or a lady in waiting, I will introduce myself. Say, hey, my name is Andres, and I'm a professional photographer. I will specifically let them know that I'm, a photographer for the reason they might need me. I just say, hey, if someone's pregnant, then I do maternity photos and family and baby pictures. And, whether you just follow me on Instagram, or if you ever need a photographer, or if you know someone that might, here's my card. And, I do try and get personal with them and ask them when the baby's due. And I think a lot of times too, I'm a daddy, so I'll have my kids with me. And so they see that, and they see how close they are with me. And so reaching out, being personal, connecting with them directly is definitely something that I feel I need to do, because it is my personality. Some people are introverted and may not feel that aggressive nature to contact people, but it really does help people connect with you, and it helps my business substantially.
Nice. Good job. So some people are definitely afraid to share what it is they do. Maybe they're thinking that they don't want to bother that other person. And of course, there's times when you choose not to bother someone. You can see that they're busy with something, but when it's appropriate, you're fine with going up and just sharing a little bit about what you do. And I would
Right.
assume that most people are really interested and grateful for the fact that you just did it.
They are. And one thing too is I always carry my physical portfolio, the one that you looked at the other day.
Hmm.
It's, I do my own printing. And so I have this huge portfolio. They're all 13 by 19 prints, and I carry it with me just about everywhere I go. And it's such a good avenue for engaging people. Yeah, there you go. There's one of my photos. It's yeah. People open up as soon as they see pictures like that, and if they like it a lot, I'll give them one. You know why? Because it's got my signature on the bottom. It almost acts like a business card, right? And it's like, wow, you do good work here and here. And I have different examples of different types of photography I do, so that I'm not limited to just one source. And again, it's a really good way of connecting.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that, Andres. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Let's ask that same question to Violet. So let's bring Violet on. And so, Violet, can you tell us, is there something that oh, is that your husky talking?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I cannot shut her up no matter what I do. They just like whining. You would know because you have one.
I definitely know. I definitely know. Mine went right at the beginning when we were about to go live. Gray, my husky, was sitting right next to me, and he wanted some attention. And I said hi to him real quick, and I said, hey, I'm about to start the show. I can't play with you right now. Thinking that he'll understand what I am saying.
Right, and they never do. I'm
I
sorry.
love it. It's so
So
so cute.
I try to provide a unique and unforgettable experience from the beginning to the end, which I feel is something that a lot of photographers may not do. And what I mean by the beginning to the end, I mean like I meet with them, we communicate. There's always communication between us. And then towards the end, I deliver the pictures personally. I do provide makeup and styling for them, so they don't have to do a thing. All they have to do is show up, obviously pay for the services, and that's it. They choose their own pictures. They don't feel pressured, or I don't pick like 20 pictures and just give it to them like I know most photographers do. I let them choose what they want to buy, and that excites them, knowing that they're paying for the services that they chose and that they want. Um, but yeah, that's basically what I do different. I feel from other photographers in town.
So is that something that you've always done, or is that something that you've
No, it's something
evolved
I
into?
definitely something that I evolved, something that I learned in one of your classes, and it made things. It's a lot more work, but it's a lot more rewarding towards the end. You know, because you're making a at the end you make a friendship. You know, and they do appreciate every single thing you do for them. It's really nice when they just like, oh, I just show up to your photo shoot, and it's like, yeah, like you don't got to do a thing. You know.
Make it easy for them.
Mhm.
Good. Well, thank you, Violet, for sharing that.
Yeah. Of course.
And let's ask that same question of Crystal. Crystal, what do you do that you feel is different than other photographers?
So I am the introvert. So opposite of Andres, I cannot go up to somebody at the store and just tell them I am a photographer. But a lot of mine is word of mouth. So a lot of my clients will share me on moms groups, things like that, and that's how I find a lot of my clients. Um, so referrals are a big one for me, um, and also just kind of building that rapport with them, that relationship. I try to get to know them. Um, and just sorry, my cat is right here, not a husky, but a cat. Um, just building that relationship with them and becoming sort of like their friend and asking about them and keeping up kind of with their lives. And um, so then they are the ones constantly referring me or recommending me on moms groups. I also have the private studio. So I have pictures or giant pictures on my windows. And I am directly across from a popular um, restaurant. So people find me that way too because they see my pictures on the windows while they're eating at that restaurant, at the porch or something like that. Um, but I have the big frou-frou fluffy gowns for my maternity clients, simple gowns as well. Um, for just moms, I have dresses for little girls, outfits. So I provide all of that for them, hair and makeup, snacks while they're there at the studio. And so also just kind of personalizing it and tailoring it, I guess, to them. And they end up referring me.
Nice. You know what? A lot of photographers are in that introvert category. You know that, right? That most people aren't like Andreas and can go up and talk to anybody. You're the norm.
My
um,
husband is the extrovert, so he will also be the one to go
gotcha.
share me
Does he help
all over
sale?
the place.
Does he do sales for you?
He does referrals. It's like, oh, my wife is a photographer and goes out and
Love
gets
it.
all my cards and stuff like that. So
Love it. That's awesome. All right. So thank you for that response. I'm going to ask the next question of you. So uh, the next question, well, let me preface this. Many portrait photographers are known for getting to know their clients on a personal level in order to build rapport, and because we just plain like them. What do you do to get to know your clients better?
just talk with them, asking questions of them, asking what they do, what their plans are for the weekend, how many children they have, things like that. Just throughout the session, I'm constantly talking to them. Like I said, I'm an introvert, so it's a lot of work for me to maintain a conversation and things like that. But yeah, getting to know them, getting to know what they're like, getting to know their stories. I've lost babies before. I've had miscarriages. I've had babies who were born prematurely. I had a son in the NICU. I've adopted. So a lot of families I find end up relating to me in one way or another in their personal stories. And we just kind of connect and bond on that. And um, we kind of end up forming a friendship. And if they request me on Facebook to be a Facebook friend, I'll go ahead and accept them. And we kind of just follow each other on Facebook from there. And I get to see their children grow up. I know kind of what's happening in their lives so that when they do come back for a session, I can ask them all about that and see how they're going, or like, oh, you're starting first grade now. How's that going? Things like that. So I kind of just see their lives progress. And with that, I am also capturing their sessions as they grow.
Nice. So you're finding things that are common between you, and having conversations about those kind of things. Okay, good. Very good. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it. Let's ask that same question of Andres. So, Andres, what do you do to get to know your clients better?
I mean, communication is always a key way of getting to know anybody, right? I don't know that I have one specific thing for getting to know people. I just, like I mentioned, and I'll keep saying it over and over again, I have that personality that I naturally connect with people. I feel like a chameleon often because I just have the ability to kind of understand what it is people, are comfortable around, and I have that freedom and comfort to just kind of mimic that. Um, I think it's definitely important when you're talking to people to listen and and find a way to relate to them, with whatever they're sharing with you. And a lot of times for guys, uh, they husbands, boyfriends, they don't always want to be at the photo sessions when they're doing family and couple sessions. And so as a man, I really do try to express that, hey, I know what you're feeling. I know that you probably had hesitation in being here, but I tell them all the time, and it always happens. I say, look, in about 5 minutes, you're going to be the one having more fun than your wife and the kids. And they kind of give me this weird look like they don't really believe me. And then about 5 minutes go by and it happens because I'll make them laugh. I'll have fun with them. I don't make it awkward. I kind of just help them settle into that role. And a lot of times the wives will call me later and be like, you know what? Now my husband is bugging me to do another photo session with you. And I think when we, like the other young lady stated, as far as having that familiarity with losing children and adopting, which I will say God bless you for all those things you've been through, but yeah, you just have to find, I guess, commonality with people so you can have that true connection and be genuine in who you are, because people can see through that. And as photographers, we say this all the time, a lot of people are introverted, but I think we need to get out of that comfort zone and understand that people are trusting you and they are giving of themselves and putting themselves in a very vulnerable situation. And so understanding what it is they're going through from all of our experiences and putting that into a package where they can feel comfortable and want to come back to you, I think is definitely important.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, Andres. So you are connecting with them. You're having fun with them. You're just being a friend.
Sure. Yeah. And again, it's all about genuineness. You have that. And I think that's why I connected with you so quickly, because you just have that genuine love for people, and maybe that comes, or I believe it comes from us being Christians and having that genuine love for one another, and having respect for everybody. But those that aren't spiritual religious, they still have that that understanding of what it is to be human, and just have that relation to connect with. I think is something
Yeah.
we all have. Hmm.
Cool. Thanks, Andres.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's ask that same question of Violet. Violet, what do you do to help your clients, or what do you do to get to know your clients better?
So whenever we meet for the first time, we do meet somewhere where they're comfortable. Not where I'm comfortable, where they're comfortable, whether it's a Starbucks or a park or a restaurant, and that's where I start getting to know them. I usually bring copies of my work, my prints, and so I show them to them, and then they'll pick out kind of like, well, I like this one, I don't like this one, no, I like this one, and so that's kind of how I start getting to know them. Of course, I stay true to myself. I am myself, and I just talk to them. I talk to them. I hold open communication throughout the whole process, and that's definitely how I get to know them. I listen to them. Whatever they want goes, and that's how I get to know them.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Good. And I don't hear your puppy this time.
I'm giving her treats. They're
Oh,
like right next to me, so she,
that's
can let
funny.
us talk in peace.
Those huskies are smart. If they want something, they know how to get it.
Yeah, they do.
They can be annoying. They can dig. They can climb. They can do. But they sometimes don't seem very smart because they're incredibly independent and they won't do what you've told them to do, making them look like they're not very smart. But they are.
Yep,
They're just incredibly independent. I don't know. I
I
assume all
agree.
of them are like that.
Mine are.
Thanks, Violet. So let's ask you the next question. Start off with you on this one. So, what initiatives do you take from the beginning and throughout their experience with you to make sure that they are happy with your final product?
Well, like I stated before, I maintain clear and open communication from the beginning to the end. When they do see their final product, I usually make like a video, and so they get to see their pictures on a video type of collage. And then individually, they get to like see the pictures and pick them out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty good at reading my clients, so there's so many little things I guess I can say that I can make them happy with their final product, such as like the final delivery. It's the package. I just don't email them their photos. They get a personalized USB. A lot of little things that I know makes them happy because they leave with a big smile on their face. Um, so yeah.
Are you are you telling them at the beginning how the entire process works, what
Hmm.
it's like working with you,
Yeah. Hmm.
or do you just kind of surprise them as you go?
No, no. So the design consultation, like I have a binder, and it's kind of like an outline of what to expect from me,
Okay,
and then I kind of talk to them, and then I let them know like, okay, what do you? This is what I expect from you. This is what you expect from me. We're on the same page.
perfect.
And that makes them happy that everything is, you know, in clear stone. It's not like, oh, a surprise, or I didn't know we were going to be doing this. They know exactly what's going to happen.
Good,
Hmm.
very good. Well, thank you, Violet. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
of
And
course.
let's ask the same question of, let's see, Crystal. Crystal, what initiatives do you take from the beginning and then throughout their experience with you to make sure that they're happy with your final product?
So usually when they message me or email me, I'll ask for a phone consultation, and that's when we'll go through kind of what their vision is, what they're looking for more specifically, and then I'll tell them about a design consultation. And so basically what that means is I'll go to their house, kind of look at their decor, look at who they are as people, what style they kind of have. Are they going to be more like light and bright type colors, or are they going to be bold and dark? So I know how to plan the session for them and coordinate their outfits and things like that, so that when it gets to the day of the session or even the week prior, they're not stressing out about any of that. We already know pretty much what to expect. And then the session, I have like a charcuterie board for them, hair and makeup, all of that. Just make them feel pampered and just enjoying their session. And then afterwards, at their viewing appointment, same thing. I have a slideshow for them set to music. And so, if, for example, newborn sessions, we'll have grandma and mom crying or something like that. Just that emotional feel for them. And then I'll help them cull down the images to whatever their budget can afford. And so we'll go through that together, and I'll pull up the images side by side, and they like that. They like that they can compare right there on the big screen and narrow down which ones that they can do and choose and things like that. And then once I have their products ready, I'll go and deliver that to them as well. And yeah.
So, did you say you go and deliver that to them?
Yeah, so I'll meet them somewhere.
Uh, so they are not coming to your studio?
For the final products, no.
So you're delivering instead of having them come by and pick it up.
Correct. For their products, yes. Their ordering appointments, usually at my studio. If it's a newborn, I'll offer, or if they're quite a distance from my studio, since I am out in Spring Branch, then I'll offer to meet them at their house or something like that to do the ordering appointment there.
Very cool. Thank you, Crystal. All right. Before I go to Andres to get his answer, I want to remind you, if you're watching us live, I'd like for you to post #live to let us know that you're watching live. If you're watching this later on, it's the replay, then enter in #replay. Also want to encourage you to add comments and questions. I may be able to put them into the we have a bunch of questions lined up, but I might be able to add some in. So feel free to ask any questions and make comments. Please make comments. If you hear something that someone has said you like, hit that like button. If you hear something that you love, hit that love button. If you hear something you haven't heard before, click that wow face, that wow emoji. But I encourage that interaction. I want you to do that. And if you've got someone who you know who could benefit from a discussion about what you do with your clients to help to help nurture that relationship, the little extra things that photographers do. If you know someone who could benefit from this discussion, do a post with their name in it, tag them in it, so that they become aware and can come over and watch it too. All right, so Andres, are you ready for this question? It looks like he is. Perfect. So Andres, what initiatives do you take from the beginning and then throughout that experience with you to make sure that they're happy with the final product?
Well, this may seem a little too assertive, but I always promise my customers that they're going to absolutely love their photos. I always tell them from the start, I have no doubt in my mind you're going to absolutely love your photos. And I tell them, if I take 100 pictures, 95 of them are good. It used to be where I first started taking pictures, and I don't want that to sound cocky in any way. It's definitely, I'm a very humble person. But when you master something and you have that experience, customers will see that. Customers want to know that. Whether you're building fences or decks or helping restore bathrooms, They want to know that you know what you're doing and that you're confident in that. So I always, always let my customers know that they will love their products and services, because I will go above and beyond to let them know that there's nothing, almost nothing I won't do to help bring their imaginations to life, because that's what we're doing as creatives, especially as photographers. We are helping them have some sort of physical product from their imaginations, from their thoughts, from what they've seen on Pinterest or Facebook or Instagram. A lot of times they see pictures like, oh man, I got to hire a photographer. I want a picture like that. And so I have no doubt in my mind I can replicate that. And I let them know that. Now, the other thing that I do to give them assurance that their photos are in good hands, I don't know how many other photographers do this, but I have business insurance for my photography business through a company called Hiscox. And not to, throw a promotion towards them. I mean, anybody can have any type of insurance, but I believe it's essential, because not only do I tell them, hey, I know what I'm doing, but in some off chance your files are deleted or lost or stolen or burnt or whatever, I have insurance to cover myself and you. And I let them know that I would be more than happy to go out of my way to replace that session, even though those memories I get are once in a lifetime. We would definitely do something to fix that if it became an issue. Now, luckily in my business, and if anybody's ever done photography, it happens, and it's happened probably 3 or 4 times in the last 9 or 10 years for me. But it does happen. When we had that snowstorm, I had a hard drive crash. And thankfully, because of my business insurance, I was able to send my hard drive to California to be recovered, where they were charging me $4,000 or $5,000 to recover a hard drive. I only had to pay the deductible. And so that is something that I give as peace of mind to my customers, and let them know that they're protected, I'm protected. And especially also when it comes to weddings and quinceañeras, that it also covers bodily harm and damage. So if I were to fall off stage or something, they wouldn't have to worry about that because of my business insurance. I'm covered through that. So that's something I would definitely highly encourage people that are getting into this field or already in it and haven't thought about it. It's less than $100 a month, so it's not something that is severely out of pocket, but absolutely something that you need to have, I would think.
Yeah, it's a good one, Andres. As far as that question, I hadn't even thought about it, about that being part of it, but it is part of it, because I mean
Absolutely.
it's clear what are the initiatives that you take. That is certainly in that category, and so yeah, that's another good perspective. One good thing about having a group of panelists is because we get to hear different points of view, maybe some
Right.
things that we weren't thinking of, at least in this light. I don't know what percentage of photographers have insurance and what don't. I actually assume that most people do, but I'm well aware that that not everybody does. But you're right;
Right.
it's an important. It is something that you should have if you're going to run a business, and it is not expensive. You're right; it's not
Right.
expensive. So, all right. So let's ask you, Andres, the next question. So, question number 4, and let me preface this. Many photographers say something along the lines of, I am committed to providing the best possible service. But what does providing the best possible service mean in your business?
In my business, so I'm always doing all these extra things to make sure that customers have not only the experience, but the physical products and maybe other things that other photographers don't provide. I mean, what would I want if I was, hiring a photographer? Well, I have these amazing printers that I print for my customers, and so what I offer whenever anybody hires me for photography is I always offer free prints, couple free 8x10 prints or couple free 5x7s. It's nothing really out of my pocket, because they're already paying for an encapsulated package. And so when you own your own equipment, whether it's printers or any other external products, I buy paper in bulk and ink in bulk, and it's really not an out of pocket expense for me. It's less than. It's just I don't want to put a price tag on it or demean it, but it's something that it's affordable for me. I'm making money on another end, but it lets them kind of introduce what I have to offer, and I tell them too, hey, if you print with, say, Walgreens or Walmart or whatever, they'll just print it the way you sent it. And a lot of times those colors aren't accurate. A lot of times they're not cropped properly. Well, for me, I took the picture. And so when I print it, it's going to be printed correctly. If I don't like the way it's printed the first time, I will reprint it and reprint it and reprint it until I get it right. And because I took the photo, your photos will come out the way they are needed to come out so that they look the way they did on your screens. And so I make sure I calibrate the screens and calibrate the printers and all that in order to have that uniformity. And so yeah, that's what I do. And to provide the best possible services, always go above and beyond to give them what they need and want.
Cool. That's good, Andres. Do they know that you're going above and beyond? Do you tell them what it is that you do, and this feels like an above and beyond, or do you not tell them what you're going to be doing, and it just feels like the norm to them?
No, I absolutely tell them. And a lot of times people that have hired photographers have horror stories of photographers they've worked with before. And sometimes we have to kind of pave the road for a new avenue and set the bar higher for them because of what they've been through. But even for those that haven't hired a photographer before, I feel like we should set that bar high so that they know what to look for and expect. And a lot of it's education, and explaining to them, hey, this is what you should get. This is what you need. You need to have, you can have a flash drive if you like a flash drive, but Dropbox is just as efficient, or Google Drive, right? I give them a free web page, a splash page that they can share those favorite pictures with friends and family members. And so, to answer your question, I do set that bar high, but I make sure that they know it so that they know what they're getting into.
So
they realize
value.
absolutely, and yeah.
Good. Thanks, Andres.
You're welcome.
All right, let's ask that same question, this time of Violet. So, Violet, what does providing the best possible service mean in your business?
To me, it means doing the right thing. Honestly, doing the right thing, and that can depend on any situation. Just doing the right thing for them, listening, being sympathetic of them. If life happens, things can happen, and just doing the right thing and being genuine, real, and people will sense that. They'll feel that they're not being cheated on, whatever. It's just always just doing the right thing for me. That's how I provide the best possible service.
Are there, so doing the right thing, are there some things that are just what you do, period, that aren't a reaction to what you've learned? Are there some things that are in your business that are consistent every time that may feel more than what others are doing?
By consistency, I mean they always leave with either a free print, an 8x12, or they leave with a thank you card. I just make sure that they're satisfied. Anything they need. I'm a people pleaser, I guess,
So
and I like to please them.
so you'll react to what they have to say in order to make them happy, and there's a handful of things that you do to make them happy that you just do on your own, and they didn't have to say anything. So like that free
Right.
8x12 or that thank you note. Yeah, so that's a good combination. Reacting to what you hear and what you experience, but also having things that require no reaction at all. It's just you believe in it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Good. Very good. All right. Well, thank you for that, Violet. And let's ask that same question this time of Crystal. So, Crystal, what does providing the best possible service mean in your business?
I guess just doing like the little extras for them, making them feel pampered and special, providing the hair and makeup from them, coordinating all of that, kind of being like the middle person between the makeup artist and the client so that they don't have to worry about any of that. Providing the designer maternity gowns or things like that. It's something that they wouldn't normally buy for themselves, but would love to wear at the maternity session. So I've had them say that several times. It's like, I love these gowns. I would never buy it for myself, but I'm so glad that you have it. Or allowing them to have multiple outfit changes and not just sticking to one dress or one outfit or one look, and fitting in multiple looks in a session for them, so that they have more to choose from. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But just like I said, making them feel pampered, making them feel special. Usually they have my cell phone. I know that's a big no-no for some people, but they do have my cell phone number, so they can call or text me if they have a question before the session, if they want to know, hey, we went to the store and we saw this shirt. What do you think for dad? Things like that. They have my number. They know they can easily reach out to me, and yeah, making myself accessible.
Perfect. Good. Do you get a whole lot of people calling you on your cell phone at odd times?
Not calling, texting, but
Texting?
they know I'm up late editing and stuff, so I don't mind.
Yeah, you love doing this.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so thank you for that response, Crystal, and you get the next question. So I'm going to challenge you guys because all three of you said something along the lines of that you go above and beyond expectations. Now, you may not have said those exact words, but you've implied it, that you do things that go above and beyond. Now, let's isolate just the photography session. What does it mean to you to go above and beyond expectations?
Oh, man. I guess just checking on them, seeing how it's going. Do they need anything? Showing them some samples on my camera screen just to show them, like, oh, you look so beautiful in this one, or oh, look at this, or look at how sweet baby looks, and things like that, so that they can see and they can feel more comfortable and relaxed that this is going well, and they are going to love the photos. And yeah, and like I said, I have charcuterie boards for them, snacks, drinks, things like that. Just things to spoil them, things to make them have a good time and remember their session.
So there is what I was looking for. I like that you mentioned that. So watching out for them, reacting to what they say. That's what all photographers can say. That doesn't differentiate you. But you did say something that does differentiate you. You have something where you are catering to them, where you're spoiling them. You have the charcuterie board, at certain points. So maybe you have that during the session. Maybe you have that during the sales session. But that's something that is above and beyond that you're not hearing everybody do. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, and they love those. Those are actually a really big hit.
It would be for me. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Crystal. All right, let's ask that same question now of, let's ask Andres. So, Andres, there's a lot of things that photographers do. Photographers react to their client and they try to make things good for their client. So that's not a differentiator. What do you do that's above and beyond expectations? Of course, we have to state what the expectations are in order to have something to get beyond. So what are the expectations and how do you go above and beyond them?
Well, I mean, a lot of times when I tell people that they're going to love their photos, right? They don't doubt me because they've seen my pictures and my products online. But I remember just the other day I did a couple session, and people, I think, whether they want to be or not, they are still skeptical, I guess, because they haven't met you really in person. And one thing that I do to go above and beyond when I am taking photos specifically is I will do just about anything that I need to get the shot. And so the other day I'm doing a couple session at Brackenridge Park, and I really liked the way the light was coming in a certain way behind the trees. And the only way to get the shot that I wanted was to lay on the ground. And I I didn't care what I was wearing. I didn't care who was watching because, as photographers, the best ones will do everything they can to get the shot. So I'm laying on the ground and laying on my side and making sure. And this guy looks at his girlfriend or his fiance, soon to be wife, because they've hired me to do their wedding. And I give them a free 30-minute couple session with when hiring me for a huge package with their wedding. He looks at his wife and he smiles. He says, "I told you I picked the right photographer." And that it's a warm feeling, make me proud. But I tell them, I say, I'm always going to do, and I told them that, I reiterated with it. And I said, I'm always going to do what I can to make sure we get the right shot, not just today, but every time we take pictures. And so making sure that we are always, I guess, just being selfless and being aware, because I think that's definitely key, is being aware that every shot that you take is a once in a lifetime moment. And I'm aware of that every time I push that button. I know that is a memory that these people will treasure forever and maybe become heirlooms for their friends, family members, children, whatever. And so do whatever you can physically to provide a high level of service to these people, and they're going to see it. It's almost hard to ignore when you are passionate about something.
Good job, Andres. Yep. So it's been a long time since I've gotten all the way down on the ground.
Yeah. Well, I'll be 48 this year, and God's just kind of blessed me with good health, and some limberness.
Nice.
I don't know. I'll climb trees and lay on the ground, and I don't know. I just kind of do whatever it takes because I see things. I see the picture in my mind before I take the picture. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what would look good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Andres.
Sure.
All right, let's ask that same question of Violet. Let's bring that question up and bring Violet up. So, Violet, during the photography session, what does it mean to go above and beyond expectations?
I mean, I agree with everything Crystal and Andres said earlier, but to add a little bit more to everything they said, is to be prepared, like gear prepared too, like bringing that extra battery, making sure you have that extra SD card because it's a once in a lifetime session moment, and that is to go above and beyond, to be prepared, have a plan B. That way, if anything happens, hey, I got it taken care of. Don't worry. You know what I mean? And yeah, like I don't want to sound repetitive, but basically everything I agree with a lot of things that they said earlier. I do apply a lot of those things to my own sessions, but that is something to also include in the go above and beyond expectations, being punctual, a lot of little things like that.
Yeah, I agree that it's made up of a lot of little things that, some of them get noticed and others of them don't. But it's the having all those little things in combination that really causes you to stand out to your clients. So perfect. Awesome.
Oh, I forgot to add something. I also always bring like an assistant, so they always have water and stuff. It's super hot in Texas, so they'll help out with anything. There's sweat there. Sometimes my makeup artist will come along. Sometimes she can't because she'll have like another client coming next. But that also, is something to go above and beyond. I feel to give that extra attention to the client
That's a
while
good
we're in
one.
the session.
So you have an assistant with you to make things run smoother. Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yep, I appreciate you adding that. All right, so the next question goes to you, Violet. And that next question is, what do you do after a session to aid in your goal of client appreciation?
I do a couple things. So right after the session, I do show them a little sneak peek from the camera. I am very confident that the photos look, good in the photo, so in the camera body. So they leave pretty excited once they see themselves, you know. And then after I get home, I do provide about 1 to 3 sneak peeks that are already edited. And then after that, I do send like a follow up message thanking them, for hiring me, how happy I am to be, their photographer. And then I have it right here. Send out like thank you cards, personalized, handwritten, and they really like that. So that's just something I do.
Cool. Yep, I like those things. So you clearly feel that showing client appreciation is a positive thing. Again, is that I asked a similar question earlier? Is that something that you've always felt, or something you've evolved to, or what changes maybe have you made to get to where you are today?
I think before I would just do a follow up and then like a sneak peek, but I would never write notes until I took your class. And then I started doing it, and it felt really good to them to receive a little note. And sometimes, like, how we have like Facebook memories and Snapchat memories? Well, they'll snap me like a memory, like, remember when you wrote me this? And it's just really nice that they keep those, they
Yeah.
actually keep those things. So it feels real
Nice.
good.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that, Violet.
of course.
Nice. All right, so let's ask that same question now of Crystal. Crystal, what do you do after a session to aid in your goal of client appreciation?
I guess just check in with them, thank them, make sure everything's okay, let them know, hey, your gallery is going to be ready in X amount of time, or um, we'll have the ordering appointment. Um, just saying how much they love the photos and thanking them again there, and then letting them know, hey, your final gallery will be ready in this amount of time. And then once I am kind of just getting closer to finishing their gallery, saying, hey, I'm so excited for you to see your gallery soon, or your final gallery soon. It should be ready by this date, and just kind of following up with them and letting them know, and thanking them, and yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that kind of thing, because uh, keeping that communication with them so they know what's happening next is important. They don't do this day in, day out, but we do as photographers. And so when you keep up that communication, you let them know when to expect whatever is coming next, then you ease them. Plus, it gives you an opportunity to keep your word, something that we find a lot of people not so good at. So yeah, that's fantastic. That's perfect. Thank you very much, Crystal. And let's ask that same question of Andres. So, Andres, what do you do after a session to aid in your goal of client appreciation?
Two things. I'd say about 60% of the customers will leave reviews on Google or Facebook. And one of the key things when customers post reviews is responding to that review. And so I will absolutely respond to their beautiful words that they leave on Google and Facebook. And I know that they get that response on their end. So they know that I'm not only paying attention, but I'm genuine and proud to express, not only the appreciation for their business, but just for the appreciation that I have for them trusting me with their memories. And that's something that I'm always sort of saying over and over again. But the other thing is posting some sort of post on Instagram or Facebook with a picture from the session, and tagging them if we're friends or they're following me, and just re-expressing that I'm grateful for meeting them, that they were fun to work with, or they were, um, just a treasured, client or customer, and to help others know to look forward to more photos, and they get excited about, kind of being featured, and then they will post and tag when they're ready.
Perfect. Yeah. And is that how you've always done it, or have you made some changes over time?
Through time, I mean, we just have to be adaptable. We're always making changes. I mean, Facebook used to be my key source for posting, and then it jumped to Instagram, and it can go back and forth. I mean, some people remember MySpace back in the day. It is, or I'll put different pictures, because I have a portfolio gallery on SmugMug, and so I'll post things there, and I'll share that link with them, and they kind of see their photos online there as well. So it just depends. It's a unique situation for everybody, but definitely try to do something specific and unique per each family.
Nice. Cool. Well, I'm going to ask you the next question, Andres.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that you do in preparation for sharing your work to show appreciation, or to become either more excited or more relaxed, whichever the case may be, that might encourage a print purchase?
Well, a lot of times, like I mentioned, I bring my portfolio with me, and I share that portfolio with just about everybody, and so they get to see how amazing the prints will come out when they decide to print. But what I actually have also is a print package that I update yearly and sometimes quarterly to adjust for inflation, and just for changes that, depending on supply and demand. Some people want more 8x10s and less wallets. I find that wallets are almost becoming obsolete, because now everybody's wallet picture is on their phone. That's just so, having a wallet print is not as special as it used to be. So maybe providing some sort of digital copy is the new upgrade from wallet prints. So yeah, I think definitely the portfolio helps, having them see a physical product. But I do canvases, and I print on acrylic as well. So a lot of times I'll send them pictures and share them. Some of the stuff that I have, like on the wall. I don't know if you can see on the wall there. There's that longhorn is one of the longhorns from the Canyon Springs Golf Course, and then I have got a buck here that I shot, and all this is on acrylic print. And I'll send them pictures of that, or they get to, I have copies and samples. Like this, for instance, I'll bring this with me. This is an acrylic print of some butterflies I took at the botanical gardens. But sorry, it's upside down. But they can see that, hey, this is an option for your photos as well. And it's, when you seeing it in a video is one thing, but having it physically in front of you, just like the print I gave you the other day, it really, really helps people think, and know, hey, I got to get something like this, and I know he can do it because I've seen it, I've touched it, and yeah, absolutely, having that available.
Yeah, you sell what you show. So having
Absolutely.
some images to share, so they can see it, touch it, feel it, experience it. Yeah, that's definitely beneficial.
Absolutely.
Now, do you show? Are you showing it just to show the surface, or are you showing them images that are similar to what they're having you do for them?
No, not always related, because it's hard to have 1,000 different examples. which is why I have the portfolio. And you saw in the portfolio, I've got real estate pictures, I've got baby pictures. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I try and have every category in there so they can physically see it and touch it. And they're all 13 by 19 pictures. They're huge. But when it comes to something like this, it's more of a specialty product. I'll have something that's very vibrant, very eye-catching, because a lot of times these are used for art pieces that they want to showcase in their home. But I let them know, hey, that's how vibrant and beautiful and colorful your family pictures will look on the wall or in your office or whatnot. And so, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Very good. Thanks, Andres.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's ask that same question, this time of Violet. So, Violet, is there something that you do in preparation for sharing your work to show appreciation, or for them to become either more excited or more relaxed, whichever is appropriate, that might encourage a print purchase?
So way at the beginning during our design consultation, I do show them prints and examples, so they already know that they're going to buy prints at the end of the session. But while they're viewing the photos, one thing that I think has helped a lot is music. Music has such a profound, like I don't know how to explain it. Like the slideshows have been really helping because I put in like music and they just get really emotional. It's a different way of viewing the pictures, and that kind of adds that cherry on the cake for people to want to buy more than they were already anticipating and planning to buy, if that makes sense. So music, slideshows, that's what I would say is what I do in preparation.
Perfect. So, music slideshow. Do you give this to them or sell this to them, or is it just simply a tool to put them in the mood?
Yeah, it's to put them in the mood, because then right after the slideshow's over, then they get to view the pictures individually through the screen. And we're together during that process. Like, it's not them at home. So I can see their excitement in person while they're looking at the slideshow.
Does anyone ever ask, can I have that, or can I buy that from
Yeah,
you?
yeah, and I just send them the little link to it.
So you gift it to them when they ask?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that something that they could share on social media?
If they want to, but I don't think anybody has. I think it's something, personal, because it is, a big slideshow, and, people only decide to print or upload whatever they want to.
Their favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, their favorites, exactly.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you for that, Violet. Let's ask that same question now of Crystal. So, Crystal, this is a longer question than the rest, but is there something that you do in preparation for sharing your work to show appreciation, or to be so that they can become either more excited or more calm, that might encourage a print purchase?
So kind of like I said earlier, just showing them pictures during the session on the back of my camera. And then what the other two panelists have said as well, showing them, for me, it's a folio box that I carry around with me that's wooden and a frame, so they can see kind of what my folio box is with my middle package. And then, well, they want that folio box when I show it to them, because they get to touch it, feel it, see it, and envision what their pictures would look like in that. And so I take that with me to the consultation, so they know kind of what to expect, or, oh, this comes with my middle package, so they can start thinking about my middle package. And then also the slideshow set to music is a big one, where they do get emotional. And then after that is when we go through and call, but they've already seen in their slideshow several pictures, and I'll remind them, like, oh, this is the one where you started crying, or things like that. And then also in one of the programs that I use, you can put the pictures and kind of show what it would look like on the wall, or what it would look like above a fireplace, or things like that. So I will make sample, I guess, rooms beforehand, before they get there, with a few of my favorite photos or a different collage or setup. And that also seems to help them imagine. It's like, oh, well, this one would look really good above the fireplace or things like that. Recently, I had a maternity session where when we were calling, I said, oh, these 3 images would look really great as a gallery wall. And after I said that, then the mom couldn't get that out of her head. And so she wanted those 3 images for a gallery wall in their home. So just kind of things like that.
Nice. Yeah, I like that kind of thing. So you're helping them to envision what you can easily see in your mind, but maybe they can't quite so easily see in theirs because you do this every day.
Yes.
Awesome. Very good, Crystal. All right, so let's have you answer the next question, which is, bring that up on the screen. After everything's done, what do you do to show appreciation and encourage future business?
I guess it's kind of just similar to the other question previously, just thank you and keeping up with them. Also, like I said, some of them end up requesting me on Facebook, so keeping up with them on there, keeping up with their lives, and so they feel like they already know me, and I'm the one who kind of goes on and captures. Today, for example, I did a cake smash for one of my clients' 3rd babies, and I had done her first 2 babies' cake smash sessions. So it's when like we keep up with each other, and I watched their family grow, and so I'm able to capture the sibling sessions and things like that. And then I have a client who I'm going to order a little necklace for them because they have been absolutely amazing clients, dream clients, and have referred me to a lot of local businesses around where my studio is. They are very much people who are involved with the community. So I want to do an extra thank you for them to show appreciation for basically spreading the word about my business and helping me.
Nice. Yep. Isn't it good to have the ideal clients just show up?
Yeah.
In a different panel, I might ask you a question that I'm not going to ask you right now because I know it'll take too long. But what do you do to attract that person? But I'm not going to ask you that for today because it's not necessarily in the topic. But thank you so much for answering that question, Crystal. And let's ask that same question now of Andres. So, Andres, after everything's done, what are you doing to show appreciation and encourage future business?
Well, I mean, I would say that a lot of my customers, sometimes they fall off the face of the map, and that happens. I think that happens with a lot of people because we all get caught up in our own lives. But I'll follow up with people time to time. Now, I'm guilty, and I'll admit that a lot of times I lose track of people because I have so many customers that I'm dealing with. But a lot of times they remember me, and I can't tell you how many times I've had customers that found me or have hired me because of a friend or family member, and they're like, "Yeah, did you know that this person referred to me?" And I'll find out later, and then I'll have to. It gives me an avenue to reconnect with these people, and to touch base with them and see how they're doing and check in on them. But I won't lie. People do fall off the radar, and I think one thing that we as photographers and as business owners need to be good at is having some sort of system to keep in contact with people, whether it's MailChimp or another emailing program or something to have that residual communication with people. I've tried MailChimp personally. I feel like I've gotten a lot of feedback that either it's too often, not often enough, not relevant. There are little things that I just can't seem to fine tune. So even though I still pay for MailChimp every month, I'm not currently using it because I feel like I haven't been able to fine tune that aspect of touching base with people automatically with some sort of AI, because they expect it from me. And even though it is coming from me and it has my signature or whatnot, I feel like there's some sort of detachment there, and people recognize that. And so I need to find a better way. It'd be nice to have a marketing team, for someone that could do that for me. And I think that's probably the goal for me, is to find a person or team that can be in constant communication, because it is really hard for me, and I'm sure again for other photographers, to post on Facebook and post on Instagram and keep up with Google and keep up with having your websites up to date and relevant, and then still booking sessions and answering phone calls and going through packages. And there's just so much. I mean, I'm only one person, and while I do have other people that help with videography and other backup photographers, as far as the marketing is concerned, I'm the only one that I trust, because I know what I want. And so that's something I want to sit down with you eventually and go over. It seems like when we do sit down, other things kind of come into play and interact and withdraw from that. But it's definitely something I want to pick your brain about.
Good. I definitely want to talk about that, and I know you want that. You've shared that you wanted to talk about those things. So yeah, good.
Right.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that can be done on that end, and having a marketing team does absolutely make a difference. But that's not what we shouldn't be doing that at first. We should grow into that, but we don't begin with that. There's plenty of things that we can do ourselves, assuming we plan it and work our plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff, Andres. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, let's ask that same question now. This time of Violet. So Violet, after everything's done, what are you doing to show appreciation and encourage future business?
So like I said earlier, again, the follow-up email, and then I do the personal thank you note. And then after that, I make sure we connect on social media, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. And I make sure that I have their email address and that they have my business card. And then after that, I do, after every session, depending on the session, I do give them like a coupon of a discount or maybe a free session, things like that. And that always makes them want to come back. Like, oh, I got a little ticket, I got a little coupon for next time. That's what I do.
Cool. I clicked the wrong button. So you showed us your thank you note just a little while ago. Is there something on the inside, or is it blank so that you can just write whatever it is you want?
Yeah, it's just blank.
That's what I recommend. Yeah, nothing on the inside, because you've got something you want to say, and so when you write on that thank you note, what's an example of what it might say?
It varies. They're very personal. Like I do work with a lot of models sometimes, and so I always tell them like, you got this. Keep on working hard. Never give up. Never give up. And I'll see you next time you're in the runaway. You know what I mean?
So you're sending words of encouragement.
Yeah, definitely, and obviously like thanking them, for hiring me. Make sure that they know that we've built a friendship.
And is that something you do once every time, or as needed?
Every time. No, every time.
And is if someone, so for instance, I know of not very many, but some who write a thank you note after every interaction. So are there times when it's more than once per client?
It's every time they have a session with me.
So after each session, okay.
After each session, yeah, because every session is different. Whether or not this is our second session together or a third session together, there's always something that happens in the session that we remember forever, such as like an inside joke or something we saw or something that happened. And
so this comes after the session or after the print order?
After everything, which is what the question was, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm just
After everything is done, that's
so
when I
it's
send. I
when it
usually,
when you've
yeah, yeah,
completed, that's when it goes out. Okay,
yeah, yeah. It
good.
usually goes out with their print, and um, or whatever they end up buying. That's where
So
they get their note.
is it something you mail, or is it something that's just part of the packaging for
It's
your
part of the
print order?
packaging, yeah. And
Okay,
we don't mail it. I see them in person.
got it.
You know what I mean? I deliver it to them in person, so I get to see them sometimes open it, and they get really excited.
Cool.
Hmm.
Very good. Thank you, Violet.
Hmm.
And let's ask the next. Let's have you answer the next question. Uh, this is a philosophy question. What are your thoughts about giving a gift to a client? And if you think it's a good idea, what things are good?
I usually give them a free print. You know what I mean? Something that I see, like if I saw them awing over a picture, but yet it wasn't a picture that they chose to get a print, I'll usually like gift them that extra photo. Um, and yeah, it makes them really happy. It's a nice it's a nice way of giving back because then they'll give you back. Like I had a client once that gifted me a fun lens for my birthday. It was those fisheye lens where you can take really like abstract pictures. It felt really good and like it wasn't like $1,000 lens, right? But it was just really nice to have somebody gift me randomly on my birthday a lens. So it's really nice to just give people gifts. Every day's Christmas.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you
So
so
yeah.
much, Violet.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's ask that same question this time of Crystal. So, Crystal, what's your philosophy on gift giving?
I agree with it. I do it. Also, if I notice that there was an image that they really liked, but they're trying to narrow down to a certain package, so they have to let that image go. Usually, I'll add it in for them, and they'll be super grateful about that because it's one that they really wanted, but when they ultimately narrow down to the certain amount of images, it's just not one that made the cut. So usually they're very grateful for that. Another one, I just gifted a client a big print of her dad because his funeral's tomorrow. And so this is a session that she had done with me knowing that he wasn't doing well anymore. And so I am gifting that print to them to display at his funeral. And yes, they could have bought it from me. Yes, I could have made money off of it, but it's not something that I wanted to do. Um, so that's just my gift to them. And I know they appreciate it and just different things like that for different reasons. Like the one grandma that I said is singing my praises to everybody. I'm planning on ordering her a necklace or things like that with her little grandbaby photo on there. And so, yeah, just showing them we appreciate them.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that, Crystal. All right, well, let's ask that same question now of Andres. Andres, what is your philosophy on gift giving?
I mean, that's easy. Gifts, God says, "Give and you shall receive," and not to keep pressing my faith, but it's just part of me, and so that's always going to be key in who I am and what I do. And the more you give, the more you get back. And whether you believe that spiritually or just ethically, it's definitely something that pays dividends. And so when I am doing my business, I would say 100% of the time, customers will always get something free, whether it's a free print, some free digital copies, or even just an invitation to go have lunch or learn about photography. Some of my customers want to learn about photography, and I teach private photography classes, and I share that with them. And so, yeah, giving is whether you do it in business or in life, it's something you should always take part of. And a lot of times, this might be a good tool that you could use, whoever's watching. A lot of times people don't want to receive something, but something my late father taught me was he would not, it wouldn't be a guilt trip. He would just share with people. He would say, look, God is going to bless me for my giving. And if you don't take this, I can't receive my blessing. And it opens people's eyes because a lot of times people don't want to receive something, whether it's money, whether it's, something significant, whatever it is. And people hesitate sometimes. I don't need it. No, I'm good. Thank you. And I'll just tell them, just like my dad taught me, I'd say, look, God will reward me for my giving, but if you don't take this, I can't get anything you're robbing me of my blessing if you don't take this. And they're quick to take it because they don't want to rob me of my blessing, right? And a lot of people believe that too, and it kind of opens their eyes to a different perspective on receiving a gift. And I love that my dad instilled me with that, and I love passing that on to other people because it's definitely something that I think accumulates in that snowball of life and helps maybe someone else whenever they're having a gift turned down. If you can use that to your benefit, it's definitely something you should take advantage of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at that. I like that, Andres. And there's that internal feeling that you get, and the either as the receiver or as the giver, both parties have something inside that just feels good. If it's allowed. Now, I mean, our normal response, I mean, my parents told me to decline. That was, that you should do that. That doesn't mean you should continue to decline. You should decline once, and if they insist, then accept. But I think that's just normal for our society. I don't know if it is or not, but it is normal for me. I'll decline it first, but then I do accept. I mean, I want to make sure that this is right. And it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just have to feel that need to be
Well,
sure.
the last time I saw you, I saw how much you appreciated that photo, and I had no hesitation in giving it to you. Because it's just I love the feeling that I get when I give somebody something they want.
Yeah.
And if that's its own reward, so be it.
Yep. Yeah, he gave me that picture, guys, on Tuesday when we had lunch, and I felt special for receiving it, and I didn't decline it at all. I wanted it.
Right.
Of course, that's not a precursor. There's a lot of times I want something and I'm declining it as I'm declining, but but I wanted that. But I did ask him for one more thing. I wanted a live signature on it, and so he accommodated my request.
Yeah. I got to be Kobe Bryant for a minute.
That's right.
Sign it.
That's right. Well, Andres, this brings us to our closing thoughts, and I want you to start with that. And so, just what you do for your clients, your philosophy on that, just something that's quick, and a quote that we can that we can write down from you. What do you feel?
First Bible verse I ever learned was Matthew 7:12. Whatsoever ye that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. Basically, it's the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. Always give with a giving heart. Be selfless in everything you do. And that's unprepared, but it's definitely a philosophy I live by, and something I think everybody should live by. Give with a giving heart. Don't expect anything in return, and you're going to get something in return whether you like it or not, because that's just the way the big man works. And I will leave with that and just express it that it's not something that you should take lightly. Just always be selfless and be serving, and it'll benefit you not only with business but with life.
Thank you. Yep, I agree, Andres. And thank you so much for being willing to share your thoughts and use your time. We can hear your boys in the background, and we know you'd probably rather be spending time with them, and yet you're here with us and uplifting the photography community. So we thank you for doing that for us.
Thank you, Jim, for doing things like this, because I'm always praising you for your kind heart, for your giving ways, for just the human being that you are. And anytime you ask me to do anything, I have no hesitation in being part of it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
For sure.
All right. So let's bring up Violet. Violet, can you share your closing thoughts for today? I think you may be muted because I can't hear you.
That always happens. I'm so sorry. So first thing, as I mentioned, something my family always tells me is to be myself. So be yourself. Second thing, do the right thing. And the third thing is just be passionate about what you do, and your passion will shine through you.
Love it. That's perfect. Thank you so much,
Of course.
and thank you for being here, for dealing with the husky, and the fact that they appreciate attention and don't like being are
Ignored.
they don't like being ignored. Thanks for giving treats to the dog to calm him down a little bit. I kind of liked it. I felt it was entertaining because I love huskies are awesome. Mine was has been coming to visit me throughout this, and he usually leaves me alone until after 8. But he's been coming by a handful of times. I don't know if he couldn't have heard your dog because I've got these earphones on, but something caused him to say, "Hey, you need to pay attention to me." He's coming over and scratching my leg and just looking at me like, "Come on." It means play. I know what it means, but obviously not right now. But I will shortly. But thank you for sharing your time,
Of
sharing
course.
your knowledge and your experience. You are what you're doing is uplifting us, and so we appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the opportunity to come out and speak, even though I was very nervous. But thank you so
You did
much.
great. Thanks,
Thanks,
Violet.
Jim. Thanks.
All right, let's bring on Crystal. So, Crystal, what are your closing?
Um, just to form a relationship with your clients and just get to know them, get to know who they are, what they like, and just, yeah, relationships. Relationships are important, even in your business.
Absolutely. Yep. And thank you for being here, for investing your time, for caring about the photography community. You were just all three of you were quick to say yes. I want to help. I wanted to be there. We some of us are introverted, and this is a tough thing to do. And the fact that despite that you say yes, I want to help, it says a lot about you and how you see uplifting photographers as being a positive thing for everyone.
Well, thank
So
you. And
thank
thank you
you,
for your help.
of course. All right, I want to bring all three back on one last time so we can see everybody. So thank you guys, all of you. Thank you for being quick to respond and say yes, I want to help. Thanks for giving of your time. Thank you for caring about the photography community and being here for this panel on the Portrait Profit Show.
Thank you.
Thank
You're welcome,
you.
and thank you.
Of course. All right, you guys. Uh, I did have something I was going to read here. So, making the effort to show your clients that you appreciate them is important for all portrait photographers. By following the advice of our panelists today, you'll be on your way to making sure your clients feel special and coming back for more. So please, you guys, show your appreciation. Those who are watching right now, click that like button, click that love button. Say thank you to the panelists as a post. Show your appreciation for their gift of time, their gift of knowledge, and their willingness to share. So thank you, guys.
Wait,
where's this white key?
All right. So we appreciate the panelists, and we appreciate you guys for watching, because just by being here, you are uplifting the photographer community as well, because people watch, people look at what it is you do, and when they see you progressing, it helps everyone. So by default, your being here helps the entire photography community. So thank you for investing your time here this evening. So let's see. I have some things that I wanted to share. And first is we have some upcoming shows for the rest of this month that I wanted to share with you. And Let's see. I'm going to bring up a slide real quick of the next show. The next show we'll be doing, and this one is called "Why Photography Businesses Fail." There are some really good reasons, and you might be surprised about those reasons, because you may not know it. Well, let's just say about 90% of all photographers are making the mistakes that are leading them on a path to struggle. It is their own actions, their own choices that are leading them there. They don't do it knowing that's going to cause a problem. They do it thinking it's a good thing. In this next episode of the Portrait Profit Show, that's this coming Monday at noon, please put that on your calendar, we're going to reveal some of the things that most photographers are unwittingly doing to themselves that cause failure. And we'll also be talking about how to fix it right now before that struggle becomes something that is so unbearable that you feel like quitting. By the way, wouldn't surprise me if you've already felt that way. There's your sign. Put this on your calendar. Show up for next Monday's session. And by the way, you can't possibly be the only one who could need this information. Share this with your friends. Allow other people to be aware of this show that we do every single Monday, that Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School are sponsoring to make it free to everybody. No one pays for the Portrait Profit Show because of the donations of time and effort and money from Digital Pro Lab and from Landers Photography School. So that is this coming Monday, August 15th at noon. And then we also have a week from then is August 22nd, also at noon, because all of our shows are at noon with the exception of the panel, which we do on the second Monday at 6:30. But this is at noon, and these are the ways that photographers unknowingly reduce their sales averages. The ways that photographers unknowingly reduce their sales averages. And we do. We are doing things that are causing problems. Again, we don't realize we're doing them, or we wouldn't be doing them. This will cause you to become aware. And then rounding off the last week of this month is, who are you to call yourself a photographer? We're going to talk about that because there's sometimes when what we do comes into question, and we feel like we are an impersonator. We feel like we're not good enough. Not everybody feels that way, but a lot of us have this imposter syndrome that pops up every once in a while. So who are you to call yourself a photographer? Let's find out, because you are a lot more than you're feeling when you feel down. You are amazing, and we'll talk about how to get out of that quickly. That's August 29th at noon. So at the end of every episode, Amanda likes to give a promo code to those of you who are here watching. And so the promo code, and I believe here it is, she gave us a 20% off anything, any order between right now, and August 14th, which is this coming Sunday. So 20% off anything, just order it. You get 20% off of it if you enter in promo code PHOTO20, PHOTO 20, Photo 20. So just go to Digital Pro Lab, upload your order, choose the size and the different things that you need to choose from. And then when you're checking out, enter in that promo code PHOTO20, and they will take 20% off of whatever it is you order. Guys, take advantage of that. And thank you, Amanda, for extending this promo code to us. So that's 20% off of anything just using the promo code PHOTO20. All right. Well, thank you for being here, Dave. I appreciate that. And looks like Allie is glad to see Violet here on the show. And let's see, glad the panelists are here. Yes, we are. Okay, good. So glad to see those comments here. And just a quick reminder, I want you guys to put on your calendar for every Monday at noon, with the exception of the second Monday, every Monday at noon, Portrait Profit Show. Be here. We want to see you. We want to hear your voice. We want to see that comment or that question, and we want to be able to answer it as soon as we're able. Today we've been talking about what I do for my clients. And we've come across a lot of good things. Now, there's a lot of things that you do to help out your clients, to show appreciation to your clients, and there's a whole lot more that you could be doing. But I want to add this one little thing, if you're thinking about it, about that subject right now, which I assume you are, and that's plan it. Don't just do it by what you're feeling right now and what the client seems to be suggesting. That's good too. But plan who you are. What is it that you do? What do you find valuable? Plan it from the very beginning. What do you do in order to get their attention? What do you do once you have gotten it? What do you do once you've had an opportunity to talk to them, have a planning session, and then them choosing to work with you, and then the session itself, and everything that's in between, showing your photographs and whatever steps that you take to get to the end of your process, which is different for everyone. For me, I show the photographs and I present them to them via a projector on their wall in their home in the location they want to have the print created. That way it's customized for the space. But it's customized well before that. It's customized during the planning session. That way I know exactly what size they need. I know whether it's a horizontal. I know whether it's a vertical. I know whether it's going to be framed. I know what surface it's going to be going on because it matches the environment it's going to be going in. These are just little things that I do because I care about my clients. And you have little things that you do because you care about your clients. But when you think through this whole entire process, the client sales process, you have an advantage over every photographer who just works based off reaction. Because every photographer is going to do something based on reaction. But there are those who do more. The planners. So plan ahead of time. Write it down. Write it down even from your client's point of view. I find gaps in what I do when I do that. Things that I never saw before because I'm writing it from a different point of view. And in my classes, that's something that one of the assignments that I give is don't just write this from your point of view. One of the assignments is write what's happening here based on your client's point of view. It's an eye-opener. So I encourage you guys to do that. And before I close this, I want to bring up one more time that I take a photographer to lunch every single Tuesday, and I want to encourage you to take advantage of that. And you take advantage of that by going to this URL that I'm putting on the screen right now. And you know what? Let me put that in the comments. So I'm going to copy and paste that. Copy, save, and put that in the comments. So this is Lunch with Landers. I take you to lunch. It's my treat. I'm paying. So that money's no reason why you can't be there because I'm taking care of that. It's every single Tuesday. Just use that link that I just posted on the page. You should be able to see it there, and just click that link, and it'll take you to my calendar so that you can choose the day that is best for you. And the second thing is a business assessment consultation. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Copy and paste that. And put that in the comment section. This is a free private class. I charge for my private classes. I charge a lot for my private classes. This is free. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. And you'll see that showing up right now in your feed, in the the messages underneath the original post, underneath where the video is right now. So that is a free business assessment consultation. We'll talk about whatever's important to you in your business. And that is just one. I do that once a year for each person who asks for it, one per year. So if it's been a year since you've done it last, well, hey, jump on. Feel free. But I can only do one per year just because there's, well, it's probably obvious why I can only do one free per year. Because it'll wind up taking too much of my time. So that is the 30-minute business assessment consultation, and I absolutely want you to take advantage of it. So just get it out of the newsfeed. Click on that link, and it'll take you to it. All right, that does it for those things. Now I want to close this out by saying thank you guys for being here. You rock. Put us on the calendar. Share us with your friends. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profits Show, giving you evolving content, awareness, and even fun to the business side of photography through helpful information, step-by-step processes, and action steps that will help you with the struggles you deal with now so you are constantly realigned to the success you deserve. Be here every Monday to experience a different way of looking at the business side of photography. Thank you for investing your time here at the Portrait Profits Show. Appreciate you guys. Bye for now.